Greetings, everyone. So in making this video, I'm not trying to be mean to people because they more than likely don't understand what's going on. So this was taken by Streets, LA Streets. This gentleman's name is William. And I wanted to go back in the day, right? I believe this lady's name is Diane Arndt. I don't know how to spell it. ARNDT or something like that. Disassociation comes through trauma. It can come from satanic ritual abuse, and it does come quite often with that. But it could come in other ways. And what causes the eyes to dilate like this is of various reasons, but through prolonged torture, prolonged sleep deprivation, prolonged mind control, as well as putting people into a trance state. Once you put a person into a trance state for a long enough period of time, they'll stay kind of in a trance state. And that even goes with a dissociative identity disorder, which used to be called multiple personality disorder. So in Kathy O'Brien's book, Transformation of America, she talked about how, and her and quite a few other people that had gone through the satanic ritual abuse and MK Ultra programs, they develop altars. So within their main system, in their psyche, they have altars that were created through various types of torture, satanic ritual abuse, or trauma. This woman right here, Diane Arndt, was the police officer, and I say that in quotations, who was interviewed on a main television news program when JonBenet Ramsey was murdered. And that was a ritual. I'm not going to get too deep into it, because if I do get deep into it, my channel will get taken down. So if you notice, her eyes, same thing. You see how her pupils are dilated? And if you go and watch that interview, you'll see it even more pronounced. This picture doesn't pick it up as much. And that was aired in 1999, September 17th. Here's another one. His eyes are not as pronounced. This was a gentleman that SGV News took video of at that weird blue building, and this guy was staring him down. And in Scientology's fake religion, the less they show emotion, they feel like that's like the ultimate. I personally think that's partly what this guy's doing. And then here's another video. It's kind of blurry. This is an older video. But this gentleman, who's a Scientologist, is upset because they're taking video of something to do with Scientology. I'll put the video in the link. His eye is the same way. It just, you can't really see it as well. Now, I want to go to, see, there's the video, Scientology crazy followers. What are dissociative disorders? This is according to American Psychiatric Association. Dissociative disorders involve problems with memory, identity, emotion, perception, behavior, and sense of self. Dissociative symptoms can potentially disrupt every area of mental functioning. Examples of dissociative symptoms include the experience of detachment or feeling as if one is outside of one's body, and loss of memory or amnesia. Dissociative disorders are frequently associated with previous experience of trauma. And just my note is they're never going to talk about the satanic ritual abuse. I believe that the satanic ritual abuse was one of the reasons they put this in the DSM. There are 3 types of dissociative disorders. Dissociative identity disorder, dissociative amnesia, depersonalization, derealization disorder. The SATURN Institute, which works to help people understand and cope with traumatic stress and dissociative disorders, describes the phenomenon of dissociation and the purpose it may serve as follows. Dissociation is a disconnection between a person's thoughts, memories, feelings, actions, or sense of who he or she is. From mind control, by the way. That's one symptom. This is a normal process that everyone has experienced. You see how they're normalizing that? But anyways, I'm going to stop interjecting here. Examples of mild common dissociation include daydreaming, highway hypnosis, or getting lost in a book or movie, all of which involve losing touch with awareness of one's immediate surroundings. During a traumatic experience such as an accident, disaster, or crime victimization, dissociation can help a person tolerate what might otherwise be too difficult to bear. In situations like these, a person may dissociate the memory of the place, circumstances, or feelings about the overwhelming event, mentally escaping from the fear, pain, and horror. This may make it difficult to later remember the details of the experience, as reported by many disaster and accident survivors. Dissociative identity disorder. Dissociative identity disorder is associated with overwhelming experiences, traumatic events, and or abuse that occurred in childhood. Dissociative identity disorder was previously referred to as multiple personality disorder. Symptoms of dissociative identity disorder. Criteria for diagnosis include the existence of 2 or more distinct identities, like alters or personality states. That's a little different. The distinct identities are accompanied by changes in behavior, memory, and thinking. The signs and symptoms may be observed by others or reported by the individual. Or individuals, alters, essentially. Ongoing gaps in memory about everyday events, personal information, and or past traumatic events. I believe it used to be called fugue, F-U-G-U-E. The symptoms cause significant distress or problems in social, occupational, or other areas of functioning. In addition, the disturbance must not be a normal part of a broadly accepted cultural or religious practice, as noted in the DSM-5-TR. In many cultures around the world, experiences of being possessed are a normal part of spiritual practice and are not dissociative disorders. I don't want to read the whole thing because it's going to get too long. I'm going to show you where you get this from. Get this from the American Psychiatric Association. And down the road, I'll probably share some more information on dissociation. and also altars, PTSD, a little bit on satanic ritual abuse. So hopefully that kind of explains some of these things going on with some of these people in the cults. And that's it for now. Peace.